There are four main sections to the introduction: the choice of journal, the choice of country, relevance to researchers, as to the journal. The Scandinavian Journal of Management. The choice of country is Sweden because it's one of the most important countries within Scandinavia. Relevance to researchers is that the use of English in other countries is of academic importance, but most of the opinions that are expressed about English use in other countries is done so from the subjective opinions of others. This computational investigation allows for an empirical base for those opinions, as well as to evaluate the computational linguistic methods for this and other types of uses within linguistics. The relevance to the journal would be that in its own mission statement, the Scandinavian Journal of Management says that it does have a passion for empirical inquiry, and of course within management, with English being an important international language, I'm sure that the choice of English would be an interesting topic and empirical evidence for that choice. There are 5 subsections to the methods section of the presentation: the initial assumptions about each language for each country, the section which describes the methods that we used in building the corpus for the English use in Sweden, methods by which we chose features to compare American and British English, and the weighting that we gave to a particular feature, how decision procedures were built and tested within Weka, and also the decision trees that were generated by Weka. For the initial assumptions, an important aspect is that British English is generally taught in schools throughout Scandinavia and the Nordic countries, and American English, as everywhere, is predominant in the popular media, in films, movies and music. These facts taken into consideration, along with my years of living in Finland, I make the following predictions: that Sweden will display characteristics of US English, Norway will display characteristics of US English, as will Denmark, but Finland will display characteristics of UK English. The corpus that I used was built using Sketch Engine, which is a website for building and using corpora. The tool used is something called WebBootcat, which is a link on the left-hand side of the main page once you've registered with Sketch Engine. This allows you to give your corpus a name, select the language for the pages that you will use to build up the corpus, and then you can give us some seed words so that a search engine can be used to generate the corpus. A list of seed words was generated by frequency from the Coursera Francis corpus. This produced a list of frequent words sorted in alphabetical order. In order to sort them by frequency, I had to manipulate them in Excel in order to provide the list ordered by frequency and choose the top 500 to use as the seeds within Sketch Engine. I then chose 50 URLs per query and restricted the domain to the domain related to Sweden. The next screen allows you to deselect any inappropriate links, and then Sketch Engine automatically goes through URLs and downloads the content and processes them into a corpus. As you can see, this can often take a long time. The resulting corpus for Swedish was over twice the minimum 200,000 token limit. Features such as aluminum, labour and neighbour were selected from Michael Swan's Practical English Usage as examples of spelling differences which separate British and American English. As well as colour and centre, the frequencies of these words were then checked manually by downloading word frequency lists for each corpus of US and UK English supplied by the Worldwide English website, added up and put into a results table. These results were then tabulated in a log likelihood Excel sheet as supplied, and with greater numbers on the log likelihood column representing features which are more discriminating between American and British English. As you can see, colour is quite discriminating, labour seems very discriminating in relation to both colour and centre, aluminium is not particularly discriminating, and neighbour not particularly discriminating but more discriminating than aluminium. The next section includes the creation of the R files, the training of Weka with 0R and with J48, the production of several decision trees using Weka, and then using those decision criteria in order to classify a corpus, in fact several corpora of English. The raw results previously tabulated are taken as displayed and then used to create an R file, as shown for American English and now for British English. The constructed R file is double-clicked in order to load up Weka, as shown. The default classifier is 0R, whose results can be seen there as 50% accurate, as good as chance, not very good. If we then choose J48 from the classifier menu, you see that J48 achieves 95% accuracy versus the predictions that we make from the UK and US corpora tabulated in the raw data, which is obviously much better. This same process is then repeated for the labour aluminium neighbour R file and for the aluminium neighbour file. The accuracy measures for each training set are as follows. The CCLAN, the center color labor aluminium neighbor R file trained using J48 gives a 95% accuracy rating. The LAN, the labor aluminium neighbor set, gives a 95% accuracy rating also. And the aluminium neighbor set gives 85% slight. Visualization of the decision trees are accessed via right-click in Weka as shown. This is for color center, labor, aluminium and neighbor. Weka simply chooses color percent, and anything equal to or below 40% is UK English and the rest are US. Similarly with labor percent for the LAN R file, anything equal to or less than 20.83% is UK English, above is US. For the aluminium and neighbor set, there is a two-layer decision process. At first, anything above 50% is classified as US English by Weka, and the remainder are then subjected to an aluminium percent test, with anything less than or equal to 50% being classified as UK English and the rest being classified as US English. To see the results of these decision procedures as classified by Weka, we first load up the R file that we wish to train Weka with, in this case the center color labor aluminium neighbor set, the CCLAN set, and then as shown you can click on supply test set, click on set, and this brings up the dialog to select an R file which is in the same format as the R file created using the UK US English sets to train Weka. Here we have the Sweden color center labor aluminium neighbor set. As you see, we go through to open the file, choose the appropriate file. We've trained on UK US color center labor aluminium neighbor, and so we open the Sweden color center labor aluminium neighbor file, and then we hit start, and Weka gives us the classification that the Sweden file there displays characteristics of US English in agreement with prediction. This preceding procedure is then repeated for each training file and for every relevant test country set, and for every relevant test set for each country. So for labor aluminium neighbor, the Sweden labor aluminium neighbor set is used along with the Norway labor aluminium neighbor, Finland labor aluminium neighbor, and Denmark labor aluminium neighbor, and so on.
In this next section we'll be looking at the Weka results for Sweden, the Weka results for the surrounding countries in a little less detail, and then a look at the overall results and the weighted results. This first result set for Sweden was with the colour center, labor, aluminium and neighbor set of data. As you can see in the red box, Weka classified this as indicative of US English, which is in agreement with prediction. For the second set of data, the labor, aluminium, neighbor set, Weka classified this set as being indicative of US English, which agrees with prediction. And for the aluminium neighbor set, we can see that Weka indicated that this was indicative of UK English, which disagrees with the US prediction. These are the results for Denmark. The CCLAN set agrees with the US prediction, the LAN set disagrees with the US prediction, and the AN set agrees with the prediction. These are the results from Norway. The CCLAN set agrees with the US prediction, the LAN set disagrees with the US prediction, and the AN set agrees with the US prediction. These are the results for Finland. The CCLAN set disagrees with the UK prediction, the LAN set agrees with the UK prediction, and the AN set agrees with the UK prediction also. For the overall results, we can see that no country was classified as being in line with its prediction for all three sets of data. Sweden did not have the AN set of data in line with its prediction. Norway and Denmark did not have the LAN set of data in line with prediction, and Finland did not have the CCLAN set of data in line with prediction. Although overall, with the polling system in place, all four countries came out as being in line with their prediction. These are the weighted results for the values versus prediction. As you can see, the Swedish use of English was most indicative of US English according to Weka. Norway and Denmark were slightly less indicative of US English, and Finland was marginally indicative of UK English.